be with you here on Midlands Gives Day. And I am absolutely thrilled to have SaaSter extraordinaire, Joanna, in the SaaSco Zoom room. Joanna has been such an important advocate for SaaS and also an incredible SaaSter herself in her own right, incredible woman and incredible friend. And Joanna, we're just thrilled to have you here today. So Joanna, we'll be talking a little bit more about the I Will Survive Women's Retreat. In this past February, we had our first ever I Will Survive Women's Retreat. It has been idea of Shannon's, our president and founder, for some time to bring together women from all over to not only learn the SaaSco self-defense, but also threat assessment from experts. And then also for those women who want to learn firearms training and the CWP, the Concealed Weapons Permit class. And Joanna, you were part of that first ever weekend. And so I guess I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more about that. And first, just what made you decide to join for the weekend?
So I've taken the SAS 1, 2, and Elite classes and wanted to immerse myself in that and just, polish up my skills and see what I remembered, because it'd been a while since I'd actually performed the moves that y'all teach us. So I wanted to see what that kind of felt like also. And then there have been several times in my life that someone has, with really good intent, tried to teach me how to properly and safely shoot a gun. And that never worked out very well. No one ever got harmed or anything like that, but I never walked away feeling like I could do this, quite frankly, without that male person standing beside me. And so I was really interested in see if I could figure that part of it out also. And so, you take those two things and put them together. And I was like, okay, I want to also see what it's like just to immerse myself into this weekend where it is all about my personal safety. Something that, I don't, for whatever reason, think about a whole lot until I got involved with SAS. It was just kind of this autopilot that I would go on, every day and not necessarily think about the world around me. And the fact that if I am not in this world anymore, that's gonna, not only do I want to stay in this world, but if I am gone, that's going to affect a lot of people's lives, and so I've got like this obligation, responsibility to myself, first and foremost, to keep myself safe, but also, my tribe and my circle and these people that count on me and love me and everything. So I thought that was, interesting to see like what that felt like, could I feel comfortable in the environment? And the answer is yes. I could feel very comfortable in that atmosphere. And it was such, especially the firearm skills and the CWP testing and everything. I kind of knew what to expect from you guys with the fighting and everything, but I felt so safe. I felt for myself, I felt so safe that I was safe for the other people around me with a gun, in my hand. The professionals that y'all brought in just know how to just innately know. And also I think they've got a ton of experience about how to teach, especially women, how to safely and properly and accurately handle and fire a gun. So I also thought that the concept y'all have had of bringing in women from all over the United States, not just from South Carolina, or even just, as small as Columbia, was really a cool idea to me. And I am the type of woman who does not necessarily reach far past, my circle that I interact with, daily or weekly. And so it was this forced meeting of these different personalities and skill levels and thinkers. And, we were all so very different, but when it came time to work, we were serious and we worked, and we supported each other. And then when it came time to have fun, we laid that aside and we had fun together. I did not participate in karaoke, but I definitely heard it and still hear it a lot, very frequently. And there, the bonfire that y'all did, and the meals that we ate together. The food was really, really good. We didn't have to worry about doing that. It was just this, we were just a bunch of women who were able to relax and just be ourselves and just be in this space where we're taken care of, so that we can go about the business of learning how to protect ourselves and the people that we love.
Thank you, Joanna. Yeah, it truly was one of those weekends where you're absolutely right. People from all over, and such a chance for us to get to know each other and truly safeguard ourselves and those we love. So thank you for sharing that. As you think back about the weekend, is there any moment or story that sticks out in your mind that you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah, definitely. There was a moment that happened about halfway into the weekend where I was sitting at the breakfast table with one of the instructors and his wife. And I'd kind of been chatting with them all weekend, just about some things that had gone on in my life, recently-ish, and also just, even stretching back 4 to 6 years ago. And I had this moment where I looked at him and said, oh my God, what if there's nothing wrong with me? What if I'm not broken? What if I was just vulnerable at those moments that I made decisions that weren't necessarily, in my best interest? My husband had just died a year and a half before. I was in a really vulnerable spot in my life, and I was having to, pivot once again and try and figure out life. And he looked at me and said something to the effect of, yeah, we all have those moments, or something like that. But it was just so, he didn't try and fix me. He didn't try and talk me out of it. He didn't try and, give me a bunch of advice and stuff. He just related to me, and here I am this is a dude saying this to me, wow. These people really are who they say they are. They walk the walk and they talk the talk, or reverse. They talk the talk and they walk the walk. So I don't know. It was just one of those moments where I realized it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be human. It's okay to be vulnerable. And it's also okay to realize that the answer is inside of me. I've got everything that I need, whether it is, emotion or intellect, or, what I need inside of me to become a weapon to defend myself. It's all inside of me, and it's not out there in the world. It's inside of me. And I found it. This sounds so corny, but I found it that weekend, at that I Will Survive weekend. I found it. It was always there. It's always been there. I just found it, and I loved on it and petted it a little bit, kissed it and said, okay, your time is over, and now yeah. I'm gonna reach inside of myself and pull up this woman who is empowered and fully whole and fully prepared to face what life brings me, you know?
And Joanna, I so appreciate you sharing that, not only just as it's personal to you, but I think that's such an important lesson for all women to hear. It is inside of us. There's nothing new that is being cultivated. It's just being, or I should say, there's nothing new to add. It's just what is already there being developed and cultivated so that we can understand how we reach our full potential. And I know that was such a personal, unique moment for you, but that lesson and that understanding that you have for yourself, I think that goes for all of us. Like, how do we, it's in there, right? We can recognize it and then step into it, which can be scary, but it's so important. And so thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And, you know, and one more thing, SAS, y'all have just always done such a great job. You know, now thinking about what we just talked about, you know, that we've got everything that we need inside. Like, we still, a lot of times need these helpers, you know, who are out there, to come alongside us and, you know, sometimes show us a mirror, sometimes hold our hand, sometimes just walk with us, you know, whatever it is, they're helping us. And SAS has done such a great job in my life, for sure, of bringing the most experienced, wonderful helpers, you know, right to me, and right to a lot of other women. And that is exactly what happened that weekend. It was just this perfect brew of the perfect people, to come help us feel safe and seen, so that we could flourish, you know, and learn these skills that are so important to us, you know. But y'all are just such a huge resource for the community at large, and also just individuals, you know, who need your help. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And I should add that SAS has done that for me too. So I understand. Is there anything that you would like to say to someone who kind of sees the information and thinks, man, should I go on this? Should I not go on this? So for those folks that may be, you know, considering our next I Will Survive weekend, what would you like to say to them?
Yes, I know exactly what I'd like to say to them. If you're interested at all, just start walking towards it. That's it. You know, just start asking questions. Don't let anything be a barrier, you know, to you, whether it's fear, whether it's resources, you know, money, anything like that. Like, just start walking towards it. You know, I wasn't necessarily scared to go at first, but I had a lot of anxiety about it, you know, leaving my child, who's gonna, you know, take care of him, who's gonna do this, who's gonna do that, you know. But with each of those thoughts, I'd just take a step forward, you know. Let me look at the website and research it. Let me research the sawmill where it was held, you know. All these steps that just made it comfortable feeling enough for me to actually go ahead and do it, you know. So that's what I say, is just start walking towards it. And if you're meant to be there, then it'll happen, you know. But just don't let fear or whatever you perceive, and listen to me, I'm telling y'all what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do. It would be my suggestion to you that you just start walking towards it and asking questions. Yeah.
And Joanna, I appreciate that you brought up, you know, whatever it is that you perceive your barrier to be, walk towards it, ask questions, because we can't overcome those. And one of the things you mentioned was resources. And, you know, it is Midlands Gives Day, and Midlands Gives is a day where the community can pour into nonprofits across the Midlands. And this is an area where we were thrilled last year to be able to have the community support to have women who receive scholarships to the I Will Survive weekend, because we do recognize that you know, we all have different budgets, and part of SAS is we want to make sure that this is in the hands of everyone who needs it and wants it. So on this Midlands Gives Day, know that another place where your community can pour into SAS is to making sure that women who do want to come to this retreat and learn from experts, threat assessment, SAS self-defense, and weapons training, that resources are not a barrier, because the community truly has stepped up and poured into us so that we can make sure that we are pouring into so many. So thank you for raising that.
And you know, Lisa, one last thing, I keep saying one last thing.
You're like me.
Another something else that I would suggest, if a woman is considering this, you know, participating in this weekend, the next time you guys have it, take a class, you know, take a SAS class, take the SAS 1, you know, that was enough proof to me that I wanted to participate in pretty much anything y'all put on that I can get to, you know. The proof is in there. So, you know, it's a nominal fee. And I think sometimes even there are like community classes, right, that you participate in. So yeah, you know, go take a class. It's 2 hours, you know, and you walk away feeling like, oh, I am bad mama jamma. Really do. And so maybe that gives you the push you need, you know, for when this next weekend rolls around, that you're able to, you know, take the next step to go.
Yeah, and become a bad mama jamma. I love it. Well, Joanna, thank you so much for joining us here today in the SASCO Zoom room, and for everyone who's had, you know, a chance to watch the video. Check out the next I Will Survive weekend retreat. Like Joanna suggested, come to a SAS class. And of course, you can always reach out to us if you have any questions. And Joanna, thank you again for being you, and for being such an amazing SASter, and for being such an incredible part of that first I Will Survive retreat. So thank you. And thanks for talking with us today as well.
Sure thing.